Okay, well, here we are. Hopefully one of the high points of the MTA conference, which already has so many. Now, some of you know us. We're good friends of the MTA. We are Practice Pal Music. And this kind of began about 5 years ago with a bit of a dream of me and my co-founder James imagining a future where the best of tech and the best of music education were combined to do something truly beautiful and wonderful. And so throughout history, there have been innovations which reshape industries. You know, we have electricity, the internet, the steam engine, the car, the aeroplane, the light bulb, penicillin, the assembly line, the transistor. But today, it's our turn. It's music education's turn. Today we get to have our innovation that reshapes music education for good. So it was 5 years ago that we started dreaming, and we dreamed big. We dreamed very big. And we started playing. We started building some software, using it with my students, seeing some amazing things happen. But then it was actually in 2021, January 2021, that a group of the parents of my drum students funded us to take this to the next level, to be able to make something that was available for all schools to use for the good of music education. So they funded it, and July 2021, we released Practice Pal 1.0. And you could schedule your music lessons on there, you could make notes. Teachers were involved, parents were involved, schools were involved. It was lumpy, it was bumpy, it was thoroughly ambitious and a lot of fun. And we had those pioneering schools who started the journey with us. We owe a lot to them, and it's been fantastic. Now, but then 6 months later, 6 months, does that work? Yeah, about 6 months, maybe 9 months later, we arrived at MTA, Music Teachers Association Conference, the following year. And it was great. We had our next version of the software, so we'd seen what was happening with the Practice Pal 1.0, and we've realized, like, if we want to take this to the next level, then we need to become attached to the sort of central nervous system of schools, the management information system, be able to work with the data that they have in there to do something that really helps schools take their music education to another level. So that's what we did, and we made Practice Pal with the integration into MIS systems. And we had 20 or 30 schools from last year start using Practice Pal and help us mature the product to where it is now. And that has been a lot of fun. And it's that made it entirely fitting that when we got to this point of being able to realize the next step change in music education, that we wanted to launch it right from the heart of the Music Teachers Association. Now, we do have people joining us on the live stream, which is fantastic. Thank you for joining us. But it feels entirely fitting that this step forward is something we're doing with the music teachers, from the Music Teachers Association for music teachers. But before I get into it, let's talk about EdTech. This is a category I'm sure you're all familiar with. The idea being that you combine the power, the raw power of technology with something simple to use so that you can have software, technology, which is able to enhance your teaching, help you to do more. Now, the problem is that actually many of those software, the tech that we use is actually neither of those things. It's not particularly powerful, and it really isn't simple to use. We've become used to maintaining software that is incredibly complex and just not very effective. And so actually, even if you did a basic kind of analysis of the products that we use on that kind of simple to powerful ratio, then all of these tools that we have, they just end up down in the bottom left corner. They're really complicated to use, and actually, you spend all that time making them work, and they only just about work. Well, we've never wanted to do something that just about works. We want to leapfrog all the tech which is currently in use in schools. We want to put ourselves 3-5 years ahead of anything else seen in education. That's the dream we started 5 years ago. That's where we are. And so what we've done is we have reinvented scheduling. We've reinvented scheduling. And here it is. The spreadsheet. Okay, so that's not what it is. But the thing is, you have to understand, what is the problem? Why doesn't the spreadsheet work? Why isn't that good enough? Why can't we just use pen and paper? What is it that means that doesn't work so well for us? Well, there's a couple of things. So one is just basic, it's time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to figure out where to put all these students for their lessons, to work around the kind of restrictions that schools have over, oh, they're not allowed to miss these subjects, or they're going to be off-site for games at these times. There's a lot of time spent doing that. But as well as time, that it's increasingly difficult, isn't it, to you know, our children's lives are becoming more busy, aren't they? Students have more and more activities cropping up, they have more and more needs, and so the kind of pen and paper, scribble it on the notice board and then draw some arrows if times need to change, just isn't that effective, and it's time consuming. It doesn't solve either of those problems. So what are we going to do about it? Well, what you really need is you need to solve this problem. So if you have a look at this, this gives you an idea of all the kind of restrictions and clashes that children have that as music teachers we're trying to work around. Now, it might interest you to know that the average number of restrictions that a school peripatetic music teacher is meant to work around in a year. We know this because we pull the data from PracticePal. It's not 500, it's not 2,000, it's not 8,000, it's not 20,000. It's an average of around 40 to 45,000 restrictions and things that need to be avoided throughout the course of a year. It's got a staggering number, isn't it? So what you really need is, what we've done is this heat map, which shows you where you can place your lessons. You know, where they previously had lessons, how long ago it was, so that you can see, you know, oh, well, that's really bad, that's red. Okay, that's not quite what we did. Because what you really need is you need to know the number of minutes of each subject they've missed before. So what we did was we've made it so that if you've missed loads of minutes of maths, that goes red. And if you've just missed a few minutes of STEAM before, then that's yellow. Okay, that's not what we did either. Because what we've done is magic scheduling. And the way it works is this. What happens is we create an algorithm which searches through every combination that could possibly be there and scores it for how effective it is for scheduling that position. So it's a complete ideal situation found. Okay, so what we needed was the intelligence of the best music administrator, and to reform that into an algorithm that would understand that 15 minutes of maths missed last week is more important than 25 minutes of English missed the week before. And so that's what we created. And isn't it cool? Okay, but that's not quite how it works. So what we did there was we have slowed it down considerably, so that you can see what was going on. And actually, we didn't just write one algorithm. We wrote 3 algorithms which compete against each other. It's like having 3 music administrators who are competing for the best possible schedule for the students in your school. And then we have an algorithm that is the adjudicator between those 3 algorithms. And that algorithm scores each of the algorithms that have produced these results and says, you're the winner, and that's the one we're going to use. And this, for real, is magic scheduling. You click the button, your lessons appear. The whole week's lessons in the right place. This is going to mean for you in music departments, you will be able to schedule all of the instrumental lessons in a week for all of your peripatetic music teachers, for all the students in your school, and all of the other activities that they have in school, all of the other things with which they are involved. Now, I want to end with a couple of quotes. So we have Leonardo da Vinci. He says, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Now, we agree. So we wanted to make something that was not only incredibly powerful, had the raw power that it needs to have, but is incredibly simple to use. One click and you have your schedule. But then we have this next quote too. So any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction. Now that is, I've forgotten, who is that? George, you probably know. It's Schumacher, the philosopher. And so we agree. And what we're seeing in EdTech in particular is a push towards making things more complex, more violent. And what we wanted to do was something beautiful, that is simple, that captures the raw power that is available in tech, but uses it in a delightful way. So that for teachers, for music teachers, instead of faffing with all the complexities and difficulties, you can do something that is truly worthwhile. You can teach your music lessons. And so at Practical, we want to welcome you to the new era of music education. Thank you for listening.